welcome back to your channel of learning English literature for ISC students. Today I will be dealing with one of the poems in your collection, The Dolphins. The Dolphins is a poem written by Carol Ann Duffy. Carol Ann Duffy is a Scottish poetess and a playwright, and she has written many collections of poetry which had helped her to win awards, and one or two popular works written by her is Standing Female Nude, that was written in 1985, and she won Scottish Arts Council Award for it. Selling Manhattan in 1987, which won a Somerset Maugham Award, and Meantime 1993, which won the Whitbread Poetry Award. Her next collection, which she wrote in 2002, was Feminine Gospels, and which shows her interest in long narrative poems and accessible in style and often surreal in her imagery. She has addressed many issues on oppression, gender inequality, violence in a very accessible language that has made her popular in schools. Now about her origin, she was born on 23rd December 1955 and is from Scotland, so she is called a Scottish poet and playwright. She is a professor of contemporary poetry at Manchester Metropolitan University and was also appointed Britain's Poet Laureate. Okay, to get the position of Poet Laureate in the British in Britain is not so easy, but she acquired that position in May 2009. She is the first woman, okay, and the first Scot to hold the position. So you should know that she was appointed the British Poet Laureate in 2009, and she was the first Scot and a first woman to hold that position. All these things, while you are dealing with the questions based on that, you have to give an introduction to the life of poet. There you are required to write about her life and what work she has done and which works became popular and what is the technique she uses. Her poems generally are long and narrative, and they always talk about certain peculiarities in the life of the people leading at that time, and there are certain topics: Standing Female Nude, Feminine Gospels, all these deal with the projections towards women. And Selling Manhattan is one of her best works and was published, I've already told you, in 1987. Again, The Other Country that she wrote is a collection of poems and describes a fascinating journey in the world of imagination. Her collections of love poems titled Rapture was written in 2005. It also was appreciated a lot. And she has also written children's poetry in the collection The Oldest Girl in the World, Queen Munch, and a lot of other works. She also won Dylan Thomas Prize, Forward Prize, and many more. So as she was born in a Roman Catholic family, and at the age of 6 her family relocated to Stafford, and she went there to schools and she did her work there, and she from a very tender age, at the age of 11 and again at 15, her poems started getting published, and slowly and steadily she earned success in this field of writing. This poem, The Daffodils, talks about basic themes which are as follows: the lack of freedom. Freedom is a very important aspect of an individual's life, whether it's an animal or human. So we will be talking about the oppression and subjugation of the dolphins when they are under the humans. It has always been, the difference, the fundamental difference between man and the higher mammals is their mental faculties. Okay, we cannot compare the mental faculties of every living organisms, but the man is considered to have a stronger mental ability. However, a human, by possessing this virtue of intellectual capability and skills of social interaction, they have started being distinguished, and they have been started believing that they are superior to all other forms of living being. And because of that, this has led to rise of dominance. Okay, because of this, there is a rise of dominance and oppression. Okay, by forcibly controlling the other animals and enslaving them to fulfill their own motives. This poem will be directed towards it, that humans, for their own betterment or for their own gain, are directly and indirectly oppressing, subjugating the freedom of the other animals. Animals are captivated, okay, kept in prison, trapped, wounded, injured and killed by the so-called superior humans. In his pride, out of pride, these humans have been cruelly exploiting the innocent creatures, being heedless of the tragic consequences his action will follow. We are least bothered, Have you ever imagined that if these animals slowly and steadily extinct from the earth or being killed massively by people, will our survival be possible? No, not at all. So for our gain, we are to prove ourselves superior, or for our own monetary gain, or to have own benefits, we are misusing these animals. They are encaged or kept in zoos and circus and compelled to do such acts that are no part of human. The Dolphins, this poem, written by Carroll and Duffy, raises this essential concern about the abuse of wildlife and exploitation of animal. Note this, that this poem Dolphins talk about the exploitation, abuse of wildlife, and it is written in a form of dramatic monologue. Now, what is monologue? Mono means single, log means speaker. One person addressing. And who is that person addressing? In this poem, the dolphins in the beginning, as a third person, is expressing about the pain or suffering that it is compelled to suffer in the hands of so-called superior beings. We all know that the natural habitat of the dolphins revolves around water, where they can swim, they can dance, and without any constraints. There is no limitation for them to live their life in the way. They can indulge in their playful activities and are not restricted at all. They can get involved in all playful activities, swim, dance, jump, whatever they feel like. The vast expanse of the water allows them complete freedom and liberty there, because it's their natural space. They can enjoy that freedom. However, there is a difference in the poem that we will be discussing when I'll explain you the stanza. You can say that if you imagine about the experience, some of you might have seen the dolphins. If you have an experience of traveling in an ocean, you can feel the enjoyment they do. On the other hand, you might have also seen there are small clippings, WhatsApp videos, or on different sites or channels. Something is posted about dolphins, that they are playing with ball. They are made to work in the hoops. Like in circus, they play on the trick or the instruction given by humans. Now, have you ever thought that what pain they are feeling? What is their voice which needs to be heard? All these things will be dealt in the poem. Now, The Dolphins is a very interesting poem. I like this poem and I hope you will also like it, enjoy it studying, and from if you are able to connect, you will feel the pain and suffering when somebody is constrained, confined. Okay, so this poem is written, again I'm telling you, by an award-winning poetess, Carol Ann Duffy, from the perspective, from the point of view of a dolphin. Now let us see the poem stanza wise, and you will also see that in your book there is an explanation given by Carol Ann Duffy. You can use it while writing your long answers. I'll just give a small reading at that. The poem Dolphins covers many themes regarding oppression and lack of freedom, which I have told you. It also broaches ideas which have to do with animal welfare and treatment of animal. We Indians know, in our culture we consider different animals as the part of our life. We offer prayers to them, and it's good. In order to make, we all know God and goddesses know, they have been given different animals, and they like when we talk of these rats, they are very much the part of Lord Ganesha. When we talk of tiger, Durga in Hindu mythology. So what is the purpose actually behind it? The purpose is that we should pray them, we should save them, we should protect them. It doesn't mean that dolphins are to be left away. For our survival, their survival is also important, and we should be sympathetic towards dealing with them also. So we talk about their welfare and treatment of animals. The poem takes us into the world of dolphins, an endangered species, and asks us to look at the world from their perspective. The poet has tried to make us know from their perspective. The speaker dolphin remembers its previous life of freedom in the ocean and the sense of constriction and confinement that it now feels in the aquarium. The poem appears to be a dramatic monologue in the voice of a dolphin. From a point of view, from a perspective of a dolphin, this has been the sorrow, the lamentation, the pain which the dolphin is suffering in staying in a small confined place, is expressed through this poem. We can say the dolphins are imprisoned, they are in confinement, and you can imagine that when you are kept in a confinement, what sort of pain and troubles you suffer from. So as we begin the poem, the world is what you swim in or dance. It is simple. The poet begins the poem, and he talks about the pathetic condition or the pathetic plight, being confined and constrained in a place. It begins by speaking in second person. World is what you here is in second person. The writer has used it to create a sense of familiarity between the reader and the creature. That is, as a reader you will be familiar with what is being expressed between you. However, then it is continued in first person plural. We will be seeing that we are in our element, but we are not free. It speaks from their perspective about their feeling. Now, just read it, the stanza. World is what you swim in or dance. It is simple. We are in our element, but we are not free. World for them is what? For the dolphins, what is their world? It is the place where they swim, they dance. It appears to be very simple. We are in our element. They say that we are in water. What is their element? Water. Even if they are in the ocean, they are in the water, and even in their aquarium, they are in water. Further on, but we are not free. They say that the world is for them to dance, swim, enjoy. But when they are enjoying in ocean, that is completely different. They are in their element, that is, they are in their place, they remain in water. But they are not free. There is no freedom. They are compelled not to enjoy. Outside this world, you cannot breathe for long. The other has my shape. The other's movement forms my thought and also mine. Okay, he just says the life of a dolphin revolves around water, where they can swim, they can dance freely without any inhibitions. They are not bound by any constraints. They are not forced to do anything forcibly. The water, the vast expanse of water allow them spontaneity. They can do whatever they feel like. They can have more freedom. They are in their element, however, they are not enjoying their liberated life. Although they are in water, they are not enjoying their freedom anymore. They share their thoughts and feelings of the speaker. The dolphin talks to a man. I'll be reading those lines. He says, there is a man and there are hoops. There is a constant flow in guilt. He says that there is a man who is the master there, and he is holding a hoop. While we do, you might be participating in annual sports day or any function, hoops are made and you work according to the round circlet or something. And you might have also seen dolphins in the circus, animals playing, they get inside the hoops, come out, tricks. Okay, so they say that the dolphin says here that there is a man and he is holding a hoop, and we have to obey his instruction at the time, even if we don't feel like. There is a constant flowing guilt. The dolphin refers to a man, the owner of their world. He can be called a controller. Hoops are suggestive of the traps. Okay, the word hoop is suggestive of the trap that is used to show the power, the supremacy by the man. Words like swim or dance are associated with freedom and liberty. However, the dolphins are expressing their joys of life, because at present that they are in a man-made pool, a man-made aquarium. At the last line, there is a constant flowing guilt. The poetess here has said it metaphorically. She points about the unnatural and unsustainable system inhibited by the dolphins. The artificial water is pumped, okay, in that aquarium or the aquatic habitat where they are forced to live, and because of that they have a flowing guilt. Okay, they have to face the tremendous torture form of guilt, but the fact is that they are trained to work according to the man who is trying to control over them. And the fact is that these innocent creatures have to perform in these marine parks inevitably, and this is the guilt and remorse that they are suffering. In contrast, the dolphins have no reason to feel guilty, however, but still there is a feeling of guilt. I hope this first stanza is clear to you. Moving on to the next. We have found no truth in these waters, no explanations tremble on our flesh. Dolphins are very friendly with humans. However, when you will see them in such distressful condition, it is very painful. So they share that feelings that these humans are trying to fulfill their own desire or their own gains, using them as a subject, slowly leading to the extinction of these species. Dolphins, like if you will talk about their capacity, they have a very highly developed sonars which enable them to interact with the environment better. They are very good communicator with the environment because of having the ability to receive the radiations from the environment. And they are used to derive information for many works that the other people do. Despite all this, the dolphins is unable to make any sense of the new world around it. Okay, we have found no truth in these waters. She says, the dolphin says that they are kept in an artificial pool and they are not able to connect it naturally. No one will be able to connect because the dolphins are living in a vast ocean, and now they are constrained in a small water body, that too artificially made. So they says that no explanation, no sensitivity tremble our flesh. They don't feel anything sensitive in their skin. They have found no truth in these water. The pool where they live gives them no indication of who they are or what defines them as creatures. Like they are saying that they're not able to feel. Okay, try to understand this, that they are not defined. That pool give them no indication of their being. It doesn't define them as a creature. The dolphins understand that now they have to face this situation. Now see this line, they are upset, they are in grief. We were blessed and now we are not blessed. They feel that there was a time they were blessed when they were in the vast ocean enjoying liberty of their own, but now they are not blessed because they are not in the freedom space. They are forced, they are in grief. After traveling such space for days, we began to translate. He says that that they feel that they were blessed when they could experience the vast, limitless water. Okay, infinite it appears, no? Under the blue sky, swimming and playing without any restriction. However, there lies a distinct difference from the past and the present. They do not feel blessed anymore. They have begun to translate. After spending days in confinement, they have forgot all happiness, all freedom. The speaker complains of being in the same space. After traveling such space for days, we began to translate. It was the same space. It is the same space always, and above it is a man. She is speaking the grief, the pain, the suffering. She complains that they know above it is a man who will control them, control their movements. The word above indicates the hierarchical position of the man and his dominance over these innocent creatures. The dolphins are reduced to performing with hoops and colored balls in the direction of a man. So they are not feeling the happiness, the thrill or the excitement which they used to feel in the past when they were in the vast ocean. I hope this is clear. Moving on to the third stanza. And now we are no longer blessed. Again the stanza starts with that they are lamenting, they are crying over their state. They says, and now we no longer are blessed, for the world will not deepen to dream in. It is just said, for the world where there is no creature will not deepen to dream in. The other knows, and out of love reflects me for myself. We see our silver skin flash by like memory of somewhere else. There is a colored ball and we have to balance till the man has disappeared. Now, the dolphin repeats the fact that they are not blessed anymore. They know that the world will not deepen to dream in. Alliteration, deepen to dream in, okay. The speaker shares its personal loss with its fellow dolphin. The line, the other knows, and out of love reflects me for myself, suggests a sense of otherness, separateness. And the difference between the dolphins, they empathize with each other. She's trying to connect with sympathy to the other dolphins in the pool. The speaker recollects its former days, past days, when they have shiny silvery skin that glittered when the sun rays, that shined when the sun rays fell. Nothing can compensate for their inevitable loss. Nothing in the world can compensate the world that they were in and the world they used to enjoy. Their previous life, no, was full of harmony, peace, enjoyment, freedom. Only the memories, the dolphin says that they can only collect the memories of those glorious past life and can bring them some bliss in their solitude. And at this moment, when all of them are confined to a limited pool or a man-made artificial aquarium, it's only the glorious, the happy moments of the past that they provides them solace or bliss in this lonely place, in this solitude. They know they cannot go back to the ocean. They very well know that now they cannot return back to the ocean. The presence of colored ball, that the ball which are given to them to show tricks, the man forces them to work on them, indicates the unnaturalness of the present surrounding. That shows, no, the pain, the suffering, the guilt, and the surrounding in which they are forced to sustain. They will balance the colored ball till the man disappeared. Now understand this line. They will have to balance the ball. Like it is forced. It is mandatory that if at all they do not do, it will lead to some other consequences. So they have to do it till their master, the superior man, force them to do this. The line, there is a colored ball and we have to balance till the man disappeared, is very symbolic, of great importance. It suggests the continuity of this sort of cruelty towards the animal which man does. Okay, animals will continue to, we are in this situation, no, where animals will continue to endure the endless pain and suffering. They will be captivated and kept under complete control. Have you ever thought of, as it is personally for me, have you ever tried to communicate with an animal? Please try once in your life. You will feel that yes, they are communicating back to you. Have you ever seen a small calf? Have you ever seen a small kitten? Any of these, no? Try to connect with them. Their mother also beaten with the same pain as your mother do. Isn't it? They also have the same sympathy. They also have the same connection. If today you are in pain, your mother also feels the same pain. Or anyone who is associated with you, who is very close to you, very dear to you, will feel the pain. Have you ever, I'm just getting diverted, but I'll just tell you one point. If you are a doctor, okay, or if somebody is a doctor and is taking a patient, their own family member, to the operation theater, will the doctor be able to operate the patient if that patient is a member from his own family? Have you ever thought of it? We as human, should have sympathy for every creature that is on this planet. We need to connect, and that day, the day you will develop that connection, you will not work on them for your own gain. When we get short videos, no, YouTube videos, or we get videos on WhatsApp, this dolphins, no, because we are connected with dolphins, when they do some tricks, we are fascinated, isn't it? We like it, we post it, repost it. But have you ever thought on the backdrop of that what trouble not the person who has tried to tame that has or instruct that has taken, but what trouble that dolphin, if that dolphin was a human, what she might have felt. Today, if I put you in a confinement, then it is called slavery. It is called, it comes under the wrong category. Then why for those animals who also are living creatures? The only difference is that our mental capacity is more developed than them, does not mean that we will fulfill our own desires and need from them. Okay. The consequences is, the if you will search on about that dolphins, they are slowly, they are slowly getting extinct. The consequences will be devastating if it is not stopped the right way. If we are not going to stop this at this moment, if it does not inculcate, imbibe in you the feeling, the compassion for the wildlife, slowly, we will be in devastation because of that we all know the process. It also emphasizes the supremacy of man over the creature, this stanza. Moving on to the last stanza. The moon has disappeared. We circle well-worn grooves of water on a single note, music of loss forever, from the other's heart, which turns my own to stone. There is a plastic toy, there is no hope. We sink to the limits of this pool until the whistle blows. There is a man, and our mind knows we will die here. See the pain, the grief, the lamentation, the cry of heart. When they speak this, they say in the concluding stanza that they realize the fact that now humans have imprisoned them, and the sort of sympathy, they need a sympathy about their woeful condition, but they are helpless to do anything. The dolphin says that the natural moon, in the moonlight, when in the ocean they play, swim, dance, it looks magnificent when they do it with their own desire. So for them now, the moon has disappeared, the real moon has disappeared and is replaced by a plastic toy. They circle the same space again and again. They have a limited space and they have to go on circling in that. Their hints are, they try to hint the continuous monotony. Okay, monotony and gloom in their life. Monotony and gloom. If I force that every day from morning till 3 o'clock you have a set timetable, from 3 to 10 till you sleep, you have a same time. That monotony, that continuous monotonous work makes your life dull, uninteresting. You just curse living. In the same way, the lives of these dolphins has become monotonous and full of gloom. The routine has nothing exciting or thrilling. They are made to do repeated things. Their life appears to be dull and tedious. This has turned the dolphin's heart into stone, and now they are feeling stone-like. Okay, the concluding lines create a sense of doom and hint on the impending death of the dolphins. Even the dolphins know that we sink to the limits of this pool until the whistle blows. We is a unified, we here, you understand, it is the unified voice of all the dolphins who are limited. Until the whistle blows symbolizes two different things. It refers to the controlling device that the man used to tame them or instruct them. However, both the words control and train, it will be that. However, it also symbolizes that this type of ruthlessness, cruelty, will continue till it is exposed. The overall, and they know that they are not going to once again go to the place back where freedom was there. They can swim, dance, enjoy at that. But they hope. There is a man and our mind knows we will die here. Hopelessness. They don't have any optimistic approach that they will be leading again the same life. These innocent creatures are debarred from the right of freedom. Human beings we should stop exploiting them for our own selfish interest. If you again see this, the dolphins are trapped, and captured, and they are uprooted from their natural habitat and they are taken to an artificial, compelled to perform. They are isolated completely, socially isolated from their other dolphins. And this poem talks about their helplessness, their powerless situation that they cannot do anything because of the so-called human who is trying to control and tame them. It's all directly, and it's the commercialization, you can say, of the dolphins. We as human beings stop inflicting suffering on these creatures, because this is equivalent to killing someone. It is equivalent to a crime and destruction. So I hope Carol and Duffy, she has beautifully tried to instill in all of the readers the feeling of the dolphins from the perspective of the dolphins. She has tried to give voice to these dolphins and talked about humans, greediness, commercialization, and how we need to work on protection of these wildlife. It's not only dolphins but other creatures also. I hope this explanation of mine is clear to you. I tried to give you in the most lucid manner, and if at all you have any problem, you can pause the video, go through the stanzas, reread, re-revise, and if at all again you are facing any problem or difficulty regarding any line, regarding any explanation, you can comment me in the comment box. I am ready to assist you by all means I can. And if you have liked my explanation, please like and subscribe and share to my channel. Thank you.